The left is still trying to hang its hat on identity politics, specifically, of course, men competing against women in women's sports. However, Donald Trump has been very successful in putting an end to all of this. And recently, we just actually saw UPenn come out and say, well, guess what? All those records set by the big, strong woman, Leah Thomas, we're getting rid of all of them so that all of the actual women will actually get the accolades they deserve. And this is exactly what we're going to see being discussed with Marjorie Taylor Greene completely obliterating lefty Representative Stansbury on this exact same topic. But before we begin, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
This hearing is actually not about oversight, but about spreading hate and using trans lives to distract from the real issues that Americans are facing, from attacks on our economy, to attacks on our democracy, to attacks on our communities. So let's call this hearing what it actually is. It's about bullying trans kids and members of the trans community to distract from the failed policies of the Trump administration and the GOP's own cruel agenda that is happening right now here on Capitol Hill as they're trying to gut Medicaid, gut food assistance, gut environmental programs to give tax breaks to billionaires, because that is actually what's going on behind these doors all around us. So, as the ranking member of this subcommittee, let me start by saying to everyone in the trans and LGBTQ plus community who might be watching or listening today that we see you, we love you, we respect you, we are fighting for you, and we will fight back against this hateful agenda.
I would like to start by playing a video of why we are here today. So if we can go ahead and play that, please. Where's our digital team? Here we go.
Executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
That there are only two sexes, male and female, and we are not going to tolerate biological men competing in sports or impeding in private spaces for women like myself or you.
The female fencer was given the ultimate punishment for refusing to compete against a biological man.
At the Portland Interscholastic Wheat Championships, a trans sophomore runner from McDaniel High School.
Thomas pulling away over the final 150 meters. Thomas wins the NCAA championship.
Men should not be, they're hurting women. They're hurting women very badly. They're hurting women.
I was severely injured in a high school volleyball game by a transgender athlete on the opposing team.
Anyone who disobeys federal law will be either prosecuted, sued, or say goodbye to your federal funding.
I also signed an executive.
Female athletes should never be forced to compete against mentally ill biological men who parade around in women's clothes. But we'll hear from witnesses today who had to face off against biological male competitors. This led one to suffer a life-altering physical injury from a volleyball spike to her head. The other was thrown out of a recent fencing competition for refusing to compete against a man. Why is this happening when we have federal laws on the books intended to foster women's sports? A New York Times Ipsos poll this past January found 94% of Republicans, 67% of Democrats, and 64% of independents agree. Keep men out of women's sports. Americans also reelected President Trump in November, and he spoke on their behalf in February when he issued his executive order keeping men out of women's sports. The United States is hosting the Summer Games in Los Angeles in 2028. It's a great time for us to once again take the lead in protecting and preserving the ability of women to engage in safe, fair athletic competition by keeping biological men out of women's sports. A United Nations report issued last August, most noted female athletes worldwide have lost out on numerous medal opportunities. Due to policies allowing males to compete in the women's category, more than 600 female athletes in more than 400 competitions have lost more than 890 medals in 29 different sports. I don't want any more women missing out on medal opportunities, avoiding athletic competitions, or missing out on college scholarships. And I don't want to see any more girls or women getting hurt.
That's exactly what I've been saying on this channel for a very long time now. Women have been missing out on all types of opportunities, right? Scholarships, accolades, monetary gain, all because men have been allowed to compete against them, all right? And many people actually thought, well, once the men actually start winning these competitions in larger numbers, then of course the Democrats and the left will change their minds. But of course, that didn't happen, okay? Even in the Olympics, where you had two men competing against each other in boxing, the left was still adamant that this was fine. When you had the same situation where two men were competing against each other in a billiards competition in the women's category, the left still said it was fine. When you had a man win a mountain biking race competition by 15 minutes, the left still said it was fine. But the left simply will not acknowledge the reality that there are differences in strength between the genders, differences between the sexes, right? And I've shown some information like this before. Last time it was from Harvard. This time it's from Princeton, all right? Specifically, the absolute total body strength of women has been reported to be roughly 67% that of men. Men have almost a 2-time strength advantage when it comes to the upper body and a 1.5 strength advantage when it comes to the lower body. Overall, these are the results, okay? They cannot be denied, and this is something that everyone knows, except for the delusional left who've been indoctrinated at all of the higher-end universities. And as I often say on this channel, you have to be highly educated to be this stupid, to be this gullible, to actually buy into all of this garbage. And yet the universities did, which really just goes to further prove my point, all right? It took Donald Trump to step in and say, you're not receiving any funding if you don't actually follow Title IX as it was intended, not the abomination Joe Biden turned it into. So hopefully, after all this time, after all this ridiculousness, we can finally put a fork in this one, right? It should be done. But of course, the left is always going to do what the left does and push the agenda way too far. So there's a giant backlash right in their faces, which of course is what I love to see. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me.
Women have trained hard, have worked hard, honed their minds and bodies and muscles to the utmost ability. But what are they thinking? Well, I have no chance of winning. There's a man competing against me in this race. So here's the man of the hour. Here's the cock of the walk. Here's the big Jimmy in the building.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.